Okay, let's look at this type of problem in Chapter 6, where we are being asked to compute cost of goods sold and ending inventory for four different methods: specific unit cost, average cost, FIFO, LIFO. Let's focus on specific unit cost. Now, specific unit cost is a system where you specifically, it's for unique items like custom-made rocking chairs. It can be for airliners, if Boeing or Airbus is making airliners, they'll specifically know exactly how much they have in inventory that's in a plane or in the warehouse or whatever. We're given the problem. Let's read the problem carefully first. Compute cost of goods sold using each of the following four inventory methods. Notice begin by entering the number of units sold. So pay close attention to what it's asking you for, units sold, and then the number of units in ending inventory. And then calculate cost of goods sold and ending inventory using these four methods. Let's just talk about the first method right now. One of the things you want to pay attention to is your layers. When you're doing this kind of problem, you notice you have three layers. You have a beginning layer, you have another layer that was added on the 15th, and you have another layer that was added on the 26th. Notice the pricing per unit is going up. You paid $165 for the first 6 units, $166 for the next 5, and then the last 10 you bought are $175. This type of problem, I like to do it in reverse when we're talking about specific unit cost. Sometimes it's called specific identification because it kind of tells you what it's keeping, right? So it's keeping 3 at 165. That's on hand at the end, ending, ending. Can't be any easier than that. 3 at 165 and 6 at 175. So let's do the easy part first. 3 at 165. This is ending inventory. 3 at 165. And then we're also keeping 6 at 175. So 6 at 175. Now we simply multiply across. 6 times 175 is 1050. And 3 at 165 is 495. When you add this up, you got 5, 14, that's 5, 1545. Okay, and that's the sum of 495 and 1050. So this helps you. Keep careful note that this is 9 units, right? You kept 3 at 165, 6 at 175. So here's your units, here's your dollars. So number of units ending inventory is 9 units. Okay? Now let's switch over to cost of goods sold. Okay, these are the 3 layers. Again, referring to our 3 layers, we know that we sold 3 out of this layer of 165, right? So if we had 6 in this layer and we sold 3, that means there's 3 left. So let's come over here. This is cost of goods sold. Okay, and it told you you have 3 left, but you had 6. If you had 6 to begin with and 3 are left, that means 3 had to be sold, right? If those other 3, you got 3 and 3 here, you got 3. If the other 3, that we used to have 6, if the other 3 had not been sold, they'd be here in ending inventory, right? It's telling you what ending inventory is. So 3 at 165 were sold. 3 at 165 were sold. But you'll remember is a nice convenient 495, just like before. 3 were sold, 3 were kept, equals 6. Now let's look at 5 at 166. You notice that none of that layer is on hand anymore. The 166 layer is completely gone. That means 5 times 166 was sold. If it had not been sold, it would be over here as still on hand. So 5 at 166. 5 at 166 is a grand total of 830. The last layer here had 10 units in it. In other words, we purchased 26 and created this layer, and then we're told in the problem 6 were kept. In other words, they're still on hand. So that means 10 minus 6 is 4. That means 4 were actually sold. So we'll come over here. And that's 4 at 175. Four at 175 is $700 even. Okay. Now you simply sum that which was sold, 700 plus 830 plus 495 equals 2025. Notice that we've done a full accounting for all the layers. Okay, going back to the layers again, there was 6, right, in that layer, and we show 3 were kept, 3 were sold. 3 and 3, 6. Okay, there was 5 in this layer. None of it was kept. None of that 5 at 166 was kept. So here it was sold, 5 at 166. And then lastly, we had a layer of 10. Okay, we're told that 6 was kept on hand. So if 6 was kept on hand, that means the difference 4 had to be sold. 6 and 4 is 10. Okay, so this shows you how much was actually sold as cost of goods sold. Again, be ever mindful of the number of the units. 9 and 3 is 12. Okay, so 12 units were sold. 9 were kept. 12 were sold. Come over here, 12. And the rest should be pretty easy, because now it's just asking you for the actual dollars. Notice it's specific unit cost. This is the actual dollars. Please, when you look at this, don't start getting confused and looking at this and trying to figure out what the average of, let's say, let me drop down here to ending inventory. When you see specific unit cost, don't start going, oh goodness, you know, is this the average of what was kept? 3 and 6 is 9 divided by some kind of funky number and stuff. This is just simply asking you for the unit cost, the cost that's in there. So if you've done this right, you've got it here laid out for you. There's 1545. And then on cost of goods sold, you computed it, and it's 2025. And that's how you do specific unit cost. I wanted to go over it. Notice that your anchor is kind of your layers, right? You calculate how much is left. They tell you how much is left and what exactly is left of what layer. And the difference is cost of goods sold, as shown here. I hope you found this useful.